The battlefield still trembled from the final shockwave as Evan lowered his smoking gauntlet and forced his breaths to steady. The valley that had once been a ceremonial courtyard now lay scarred with charred stone and shattered banners. Above him, the towers of the crystalline palace flickered with wounded light. Every alien soldier still standing stared at him with a mixture of fear and astonishment. He felt the weight of their stares as a reminder that he was far from home. He had helped them out of necessity, not to be celebrated. Yet something told him that what happened next might change the future of two species. Evan had arrived on this planet only weeks earlier after his ship malfunctioned and dragged him through unstable worm space. In the chaos, he had been forced to crash land on a world locked in a sudden conflict. A hostile wave of marauders had launched a surprise attack aimed at seizing the throne of the ruling dynasty. The defenders were outnumbered and unprepared. Evan had seen their desperation and answered their distress signals. He had charged into battle with nothing but a battered exosuit and the stubborn determination humans were known for. Somehow he had held the line long enough to prevent the palace from falling. The last of the marauders had fled minutes ago. Their retreat left behind a silent and exhausted army that now gathered its strength and looked toward the grand entrance of the palace. Tall doors carved from shimmering crystal parted with slow majesty. Guards in ornate armor stepped aside. The alien queen emerged, walking with regal certainty. Her presence was powerful, yet graceful. Her silver mantle rippled like living starlight. A crown of radiant filaments cast a soft glow around her features. She surveyed the devastation before her with steady eyes and then looked directly at the lone human who had changed everything. When she stopped at the edge of the steps, her voice rose firm and commanding. "Bring me the human." The command echoed across the courtyard. Soldiers parted instantly, creating a path toward Evan. He hesitated for a moment. He was unsure if what awaited him at the top of the steps would be gratitude, suspicion, or something in between. Still he walked. He stepped around debris and passed between rows of warriors who had fought fiercely only moments ago. Their expressions were respectful now. Some even bowed slightly at his approach. When Evan reached the base of the palace steps, he paused and lifted his chin. The queen studied him. She took in the scratched armor, the dirt smeared across his face, and the light shimmer of exhaustion in his eyes. She descended a single step, bringing herself closer without losing dignity. Her gaze carried a depth that suggested ancient knowledge and a leader's burden. Then she spoke. "Human, you fought as if this world were your own. No outsider has ever stood for our people as you have today. You saved my throne and my people. For that, I owe you a debt." Evan shifted slightly. "I only did what felt right. Those marauders weren't going to stop. Someone had to hold them back." The queen nodded. "Many would have fled. Yet you stood." A quiet ripple of approval moved through the soldiers gathered around them. Evan felt awkward under the attention, but kept his tone calm. "I couldn't turn away. Not when lives were at stake." The queen raised her hand. "You fought alone against an entire vanguard. You acted with courage beyond calculation. You deserve recognition worthy of your deeds." Evan swallowed as she stepped down another stair. Her aura shimmered softly, like starlight bending around her. She was unlike any being he had ever met, yet something in her presence felt unmistakably human in spirit. Perhaps it was the sense of responsibility she carried, or the sorrow she concealed behind her strength. He sensed that she was more than a ruler. She was a protector trying to hold her world together in the face of threats that never seemed to end. The queen turned toward her guards. They bowed and withdrew a respectful distance. She faced Evan once more and lowered her voice slightly. "Tell me your name." "Evan. Evan." She repeated it slowly, as if testing the sound. A strong name. A name we will remember. He rubbed the back of his neck. I didn't do this for recognition, Your Majesty. She studied him. Tell me then, why did you do it? Evan looked down at the stone beneath his feet. He remembered the chaos when he had crashed. He remembered seeing families herded at spear point and soldiers overwhelmed by raids along the outer districts. In his world, humans had endured their share of conflict. They had learned that strength meant nothing unless used to protect those who could not defend themselves. I did it because no one deserves to lose their home like that. Because I couldn't just watch it happen. Something softened in her expression. Compassion, understanding, a spark of admiration. You carry a warrior's heart and a guardian spirit. Few among my own people stand with such resolve. More guards approached behind her, carrying ceremonial staffs adorned with glowing sigils. They halted at the Queen's slight gesture. She touched one of their shoulders. The battlefield has been secured. Prepare for the rites of gratitude. Our world has witnessed a miracle today. The soldier bowed and withdrew. The Queen turned back to Evan. Come with me. You will be honored. Evan shook his head. I don't need a ceremony. I only want to help rebuild. There must be people who need aid. The Queen hesitated before answering. Your humility is unusual among warriors. Still, tradition demands acknowledgement. If you refuse public honor, then accept private gratitude. Walk with me, Evan. He followed her through the palace entrance. The interior was breathtaking. Light refracted through crystalline walls, creating shifting patterns along the floors. The palace felt alive, as though it breathed with the energy of ancient power. As they walked deeper, the Queen spoke quietly. Centuries have passed since an outsider set foot inside these halls. You are the first human to stand here. Do you understand the weight of that? Evan looked around, taking in the grandeur. Honestly, I'm still trying to understand any of this. One moment, I'm drifting through space. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of a planetary uprising. The Queen smiled faintly. Fate places us where we must be, not always where we expect to be. They entered a chamber lined with carved pillars. Each pillar bore scenes of past rulers and battles won long ago. At the center lay a circular platform adorned with glowing lines. The Queen motioned for him to approach. This is the Chamber of Echoes. Hear the voices of our ancestors. Witness the deeds of those who shape our future. Stand with me. Evan stepped onto the platform beside her. Light rose gently beneath their feet. Warm energy swirled around them. The Queen lifted her head and spoke, her voice gaining a ceremonial strength. Ancestors of the Radiant Throne, hear my words. Today a stranger from a distant world stood against our foes. He fought with courage when hope waned. He defended our people without claim or promise. By his hand our enemy fell. By his resolve our line endures. The chamber resonated with a low hum as the carved figures glowed faintly. The Queen continued, Let it be known that Evan, a human from beyond our stars, is a guardian of this realm. Let honor be granted. Let gratitude be forever remembered. Evan felt a strange feeling swell inside him. Not pride exactly. Something deeper. Purpose. Connection. As the light dimmed, the Queen turned to him. You may not desire recognition, but your actions demand it. Evan nodded slowly. Thank you. She stepped closer. I wish to know more about you. A warrior driven by compassion is rare. Tell me about your world. He described Earth in broad strokes. The oceans. The cities. The strange mix of chaos and hope that humans carried. The Queen listened with keen interest. Your world sounds unpredictable yet vibrant. Your people possess ingenuity that borders on wonder. It explains your spirit. Evan gave a small shrug. Humans adapt. We learn fast. Sometimes that's the only way to survive. The Queen seemed to think deeply on his words. That is why you triumphed today. Your adaptability confounded our foes. They could not predict someone who refuses to break. As they left the chamber, she guided him into a tranquil courtyard. A gentle breeze carried the scent of luminous flowers that opened only under the restored palace light. Warriors and officials passed by, but kept a respectful distance. The Queen stood beside a small fountain and touched the petals of a glowing blossom. Our world has suffered many storms. I have carried the burden of leadership alone for far too long. Your presence today reminded me that alliances beyond our borders may bring strength we have not known. Evan crossed his arms lightly. I'm not here to interfere in your politics. I just reacted to what was happening. She met his gaze. I do not ask for interference. I ask only for understanding. A bridge between our worlds would be powerful, and I believe you are the key to that bridge. He blinked at her. Me. Yes, you demonstrated something my people need to see. The strength of a human heart. The willingness to stand for what is right, even without obligation. That spirit can inspire unity where division once lived. Evan took a moment to absorb her words. He had never thought of himself as a symbol, just a man who acted when the moment demanded it. The Queen stepped closer until her presence radiated warmth. She lowered her voice. I wish for you to remain here as an honored ally. There is much to rebuild. There is much to learn from you. Evan hesitated. I don't know if I can stay. My ship is damaged. I have no way home, but that doesn't mean I should impose on your culture. The Queen shook her head. You would not be an imposition. You would be a bee,